Did you know that for people over 60, a single fall can change everything? One misstep in the bathroom, one slip on a rug, or one dizzy spell in the kitchen, and suddenly, independence, confidence, and even health can be at risk. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Up to half of all falls in seniors can be prevented. Not with expensive equipment, not with complicated routines, but with simple daily habits that anyone can follow. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Where are you watching this from right now? What time of day is it for you? Are you sitting in your living room or maybe in your bedroom, phone in hand? And most importantly, how old are you? I'd love for you to write it down in the comments, because it helps me understand exactly who I'm talking to. If you're 60, 70, 80, or even 90, this message is for you. Because no matter your age, it is never too late to protect yourself. Now let's get real for a moment. You probably know someone, a neighbor, a friend, maybe even a relative, who had one bad fall. Maybe they were perfectly independent before, living their normal life, going out to the store, cooking meals, walking the dog. But then one slip on a wet bathroom floor or one stumble while getting out of bed, and everything changed. Suddenly they needed help walking, or maybe they were in the hospital for weeks. For some, that one fall is the beginning of losing their independence. I'll tell you a quick story. There was a woman named Mary, 72 years old, living in Ohio. She was active, sharp, and loved spending time with her grandchildren. One morning, she got up too quickly from her bed, felt dizzy, and before she knew it, she had collapsed onto the floor. She fractured her hip. After surgery and months of recovery, she was never quite the same. She told her daughter, "I wish someone had warned me that standing up too fast could be so dangerous." Mary's story is not rare. In fact, it happens every single day across the United States. Falls are the #1 cause of injuries among seniors. They cause more hospital visits than car accidents for people over 65, and here's something many don't realize. Falls aren't just about bad luck. They're signals that the body needs a bit of extra care, that routines need to be adjusted, and that prevention is possible. So let me ask you again. Have you ever had a moment where you felt unsteady, even for a second? Maybe you reached too quickly, or the room spun a little when you got out of bed. Did you brush it off? Many people do. But ignoring these little warning signs can be dangerous. The good news is this. There are 7 simple daily habits that can almost erase half of your fall risk. 7 actions that don't require fancy gyms, don't require expensive equipment, and don't even take much time. They're habits that work quietly in the background, protecting you day after day. And over the next several minutes, I'm going to share every single one of them with you. But before we start, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Promise that as you listen, you won't just nod your head and say, "Yes, that makes sense." Promise that you'll choose at least one of these habits and start practicing it today. Because independence starts with small choices, and those small choices done every day are what keep you steady, confident, and safe. Let's start with the very first habit, and honestly, it's one of the most overlooked ones. Clearing your pathways every single morning. Now I know what. You might be thinking, "Oh, my house is fine. I know where everything is. I've lived here for years." And that's exactly the problem. When we live in the same space for decades, we stop noticing the little dangers around us. The cord running across the hallway, the rug that shifts when you step on it, the pair of shoes left by the front door. These tiny things, barely noticed, are the exact traps that cause thousands of seniors to fall every single day. Let me tell you about George, a retired teacher from Texas. He was 78, still sharp as ever and living alone. One evening, he got up to grab a glass of water. On the way back to his bedroom, his foot caught on a small extension cord lying across the hallway. He fell hard, broke his wrist, and spent months in rehab. What's shocking? That cord had been there for years. He'd stepped over it hundreds of times. But one tired night, one small slip, and it was enough to change everything. That's why this habit matters. Each morning, before your day really begins, do a quick walkthrough of your living space. Think of it as your safety sweep. Walk from your bedroom to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the living room. Look at the floor. Ask yourself, if I were tired, if I were carrying something, if the lights were dim, could I trip here? And if the answer is yes, even a small yes, fix it. Move the shoes. Tuck the cord. Straighten the rug. It takes less than 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes could save you from a broken hip, a hospital stay, or worse. I want you to imagine this. You wake up groggy in the middle of the night, maybe to use the bathroom. Your vision isn't as sharp in the dark and your balance isn't as steady when you're half asleep. What's the difference between getting back to bed safely and landing on the floor with an injury? It's whether your pathway is clear. That's it. Now let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. When was the last time you really looked at your floors? Not just walked through, but actually looked for hazards? If it's been weeks or months, then this habit is especially for you. Some people say, oh, I'll just be careful. But here's the truth. Nobody plans to fall. Nobody thinks, today, I'll trip. Falls happen in a split second, when the mind is distracted, when the eyes are tired, or when the body is moving slower than it used to. Prevention has to be done before the danger shows up. And if you're thinking, I don't want to bend down or move heavy things every day, remember, you don't need to do a deep cleaning, just the basics. Push the chair back to the table. Make sure the hallway is clear. If you can't reach something safely, ask a family member or caregiver to help. I'd love to know, do you already have night lights or floor lights in your hallway? Do you feel like your home is easy to navigate at night? Drop your answer in the comments. Because sharing your little tricks might help someone else here stay safe too. Because here's the bottom line. Your home can either be a safe haven or a danger zone. And the difference depends on whether you make clearing your pathways a daily habit. Now, the second daily habit might sound so simple that many people brush it off. But trust me, it can make the difference between standing tall and lying on the floor in pain. That habit is wearing the right shoes all day. Here's the mistake so many seniors make: walking barefoot, wearing socks, or slipping into those soft house slippers that don't have any grip. I get it. They're comfortable, they're easy, they feel cozy. But comfort can sometimes be a silent enemy. Let me tell you about a man named Harold, 74 years old, from Florida. Every morning, Harold shuffled around the house in his socks. He'd done it for years and thought nothing of it. One rainy afternoon, as he walked from the kitchen to the living room, his socks slipped on the tile. He hit the ground hard, fracturing his hip. The doctors told him what we all know but often ignore. Socks and smooth floors are a dangerous combination. Harold now says, if I'd just worn proper shoes, I wouldn't have gone through this nightmare. The truth is, your feet are your foundation. Just like a house needs a strong base, your body needs steady, non-slip support. Shoes with good grip, solid soles, and firm backing don't just protect your feet, they protect your balance. I know some of you may be thinking, but I don't want to wear shoes in the house. It doesn't feel right. And that's understandable. But what if I told you there are shoes designed specifically for indoors? Lightweight, breathable, slip-resistant shoes you can wear all day without discomfort. Many seniors have a pair they keep just for inside the home. It's like an invisible layer of safety every time you take a step. Think about it this way. Do you remember when you were younger and wore shoes for style? Maybe you loved high heels, shiny dress shoes, or whatever was trendy back then. Now that you're older, your shoes are no longer about fashion. They're about protection. Every time you put them on, you're saying to yourself, I choose safety. I choose independence. And here's something many people don't know. Your sense of touch in your feet actually decreases with age. That means you may not feel uneven surfaces as well as you used to. Proper shoes help make up for that loss by giving you grip and stability that bare feet or socks simply can't provide. Now let me ask you honestly, what do you usually wear around the house? Socks? Slippers? Barefoot? Or do you already keep a safe pair of shoes nearby? I'd love for you to share that in the comments because your habits might inspire someone else to make a safer choice. There's another part of this habit too, making sure your shoes actually fit well. Shoes that are too loose can make you trip. Shoes that are too tight can hurt your feet and make you walk awkwardly. A proper fit is as important as the sole itself. Here's a little challenge for you. Tonight before bed, take a look at your shoes. Are they supportive? Do they have non-slip bottoms? Or are they old and worn down with smooth soles that are practically ice skates on a kitchen floor? If it's the latter, it might be time to invest in a new pair. Think of it not as an expense, but as insurance for your safety. Remember, falls don't just happen outside on icy sidewalks or uneven streets. Most falls happen right inside the home, where you should feel safest. The right shoes make sure that your home stays the safe place it's meant to be. So here's your takeaway. Never, and I mean never, walk around your house barefoot or just in socks. Put on those supportive non-slip shoes in the morning and keep them on until you're ready for bed. It's one of the simplest changes you can make, but one of the most powerful protections you have against falls. The third daily habit that can save you from dangerous falls is lighting up dark spaces. I want you to picture this. It's 2 a.m. You wake up needing to use the bathroom. You're still half asleep, your eyes are heavy, and the house is dark. You think to yourself, I know this path. I've walked it 1,000 times. So you shuffle forward without turning on the light. But in the darkness, your foot catches on the edge of a rug, or maybe you misjudge the distance to the doorframe. In 1 second, you're on the floor. That single moment, that single choice to walk in the dark can lead to weeks in the hospital, months of recovery, and sometimes a life that never feels quite the same. This is not just imagination. It happens every single night across the United States. Falls in the middle of the night are some of the most common and most dangerous for seniors, simply because of poor lighting. Let me tell you about Anna, an 81-year-old grandmother from Michigan. She was healthy, independent, and proud of living on her own. One night, she woke up to get a glass of water. She didn't want to disturb her sleep by turning on the bright overhead light, so she tried to make her way in the dark. Halfway to the kitchen, she stumbled on the edge of a hallway carpet and went down hard. The result? A broken hip and 3 months in a rehab center. When her daughter visited her in the hospital, Anna said, "I should have just turned on a light." But here's the thing. Turning on a light doesn't have to mean blinding yourself in the middle of the night. That's where this habit comes in. Make sure your home has soft, steady night lighting in every important area: hallways, bathrooms, bedrooms, and especially near staircases. Today, there are affordable LED nightlights that plug directly into the wall. Many are motion activated, which means they turn on automatically when you get close. No fumbling for switches, no blinding glare, just enough light to guide you safely. And let's talk about the bathroom, because it's one of the most dangerous places in the house at night. A slippery floor combined with darkness is a recipe for disaster. A simple nightlight or a strip of LED lights along the baseboard can completely change that risk. I know some of you may be thinking, I don't want my house lit up all night. It'll keep me awake. But the truth is, the kind of lights I'm talking about are gentle, soft glows. They don't disturb your sleep, but they do protect your steps. Think of them as quiet little guardians, guiding you safely from one room to another. Now let me ask you this. Do you currently have nightlights in your home? If so, where did you put them? And if not, what's stopping you? Share your answer in the comments, because your solutions might help someone else who's listening right now. Another smart move? Keep a small flashlight on your nightstand. That way, if the power ever goes out or you don't want to rely on outlets, you can instantly light your way with the push of a button. Some seniors even keep a flashlight in every major room of the house. Cheap, easy, and life-saving. Here's a sobering fact. According to the CDC, the majority of falls for seniors happen inside the home and often at night. Not because the Person was careless, but because the environment wasn't prepared. That means the solution isn't more caution, it's better lighting. So here's your action step. Tonight, before you go to bed, walk through your home as if you were making a midnight trip to the bathroom. Is it dark? Do you have to feel your way with your hands? Do you hesitate because you can't see the floor? If the answer is yes, then tomorrow, make it your mission to install nightlights or motion lights. Because safety doesn't happen by accident. It happens by preparation. Remember this: darkness is not your friend. Darkness hides dangers. But a little bit of light can save you from a world of pain. The fourth daily habit that can keep you safe is one most people don't even think about: taking your time when you stand up. Now, let me paint you a picture. It's early morning. You've just woken up and you swing your legs out of bed. You're eager to start your day, so you push yourself up quickly. But as soon as you do, the room tilts, your vision blurs, and your knees feel weak. In that split second, your balance is gone. If you're lucky, you fall back onto the bed. If you're not, you end up on the floor with a painful injury. This isn't just getting older. There's a medical reason for it. It's called orthostatic hypotension, a fancy term that simply means your blood pressure drops when you stand up too fast. Your heart and blood vessels can't adjust quickly enough, so your brain doesn't get enough blood for a moment. That's why you feel dizzy or lightheaded. For seniors, this is incredibly common. And that little dizzy spell? That's one of the most dangerous fall triggers there is. Let me tell you about Ruth, a 76-year-old from Arizona. She was healthy, active, and still drove herself to church every Sunday. But one morning, she got out of bed too quickly. She felt a wave of dizziness, but thought, "Oh, it'll pass." She tried to walk it off. Before she reached the bathroom, she collapsed on the hallway floor and broke her shoulder. The doctor later explained that if she had paused for just 20 seconds after sitting up, the fall could have been avoided completely. That's why this habit matters so much. Here's what I want you to practice, starting tomorrow morning. When you wake up, don't rush. First, sit on the edge of your bed. Let your legs dangle for a moment. Take a few slow breaths. Roll your shoulders. Wiggle your toes. This gives your blood pressure time to stabilize. After about 20 to 30 seconds, place your hands on your knees or the bed, steady yourself, and then rise slowly. The same goes for standing up from a chair. If you've been sitting for a long time, watching TV, reading, or enjoying a meal, don't. Just pop up quickly. Pause. Press down gently on the arms of the chair or your knees, and rise in stages. Think of it as giving your body a moment to catch up. And here's something important. If you ever feel dizzy after standing, don't push through it. Don't say, "Oh, I'll be fine." That's how accidents happen. Instead, sit back down immediately and wait until you feel steady again. Sometimes, just 30 extra seconds can prevent a life-altering fall. I want to ask you, have you ever felt that sudden dizziness when standing up? How often does it happen to you? Share your answer in the comments because you might be surprised how many people experience the same thing. And if it happens often, please don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor. Sometimes medications, dehydration, or other health issues make it worse. And fixing those problems can make you feel steadier every day. Remember, there is no prize for rushing. Nobody is handing out medals for how quickly you can jump out of bed. But there are serious risks for those who ignore this habit. Every time you stand slowly, you're giving yourself protection, stability, and peace of mind. So here's your takeaway. Don't treat standing up as something automatic. Treat it as a safety step. Pause, breathe, steady yourself, and then rise. That small change can make the difference between a normal day and a trip to the emergency room. The fifth daily habit that can protect you from falls is practicing simple balance exercises. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you tested your balance? Not your strength, not your flexibility, but your actual ability to stay steady? For many seniors, balance is something they don't think about until it's gone. But here's the truth. Balance is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And when it weakens, every step becomes more risky. Let me share a story about Edna, a 79-year-old from North Carolina. Edna had always been active when she was younger. She loved gardening and walking around her neighborhood. But over time, she slowed down. She spent more time sitting, less time moving. One afternoon, she was reaching into a high kitchen cabinet when she lost her balance. She tried to catch herself, but her legs weren't steady enough. She fell, breaking 2 ribs. Later, her doctor told her something shocking. Her fall wasn't just about reaching too far. It was about weak balance that hadn't been exercised in years, and Edna's not alone. According to health studies, seniors who don't work on their balance are twice as likely to fall as those who do. The good news? You don't need fancy equipment or long workouts. Just 5 minutes a day of balance practice can dramatically reduce your risk. So what does that look like? Here are a few simple movements you can try, always near a chair, a wall, or a countertop for safety. First, the heel-to-toe walk. Place one foot directly in front of the other, heel touching the toes of the other foot, and walk slowly in a straight line across the room. This trains your brain and body to stay steady, just like walking on a balance beam. Second, the one-leg stand. Hold on to the back of a sturdy chair and gently lift one foot off the ground. Even if you only hold it for 5 seconds, you're strengthening the muscles that keep you upright. Switch legs and repeat. Over time, aim for 10, 20, or even 30 seconds. And third, try some gentle Tai Chi-inspired movements. Tai Chi is often called meditation in motion, and it's proven to improve balance in seniors. Simple, slow steps, shifting weight from one leg to the other, can teach your body how to move gracefully without wobbling. The key isn't doing these exercises perfectly. The key is doing them consistently. Just like brushing your teeth, it's the daily practice that builds long-term results. Now, I want to ask you, how confident do you feel about your balance right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself? Be honest, and maybe even share your number in the comments. Because the first step to improvement is admitting where you are today. And here's the beautiful part. Balance exercises don't just prevent falls. They also give you confidence. They make walking across the street easier. They make playing with your grandkids more fun. They make everyday life feel less scary. Because let's be real, some seniors stop doing the things they love because they're afraid of falling. But by training your balance, you're not just preventing accidents, you're reclaiming freedom. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow, set aside 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Practice one of these balance exercises near a sturdy chair. It may feel silly at first, but remember, those 5 minutes are building a wall of protection around your independence. Don't wait until after a fall to realize how important balance is. Train it now, protect yourself now, and enjoy the confidence it gives you. The 6th daily habit that can prevent dangerous falls is reviewing your medications regularly. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I've been on these pills for years and my doctor prescribed them. Why should I worry? But here's the truth that many people don't realize. Some medications, especially when taken together, can quietly increase your fall risk. Not because they're bad medicines, but because of their side effects. Dizziness, drowsiness, confusion, blurred vision, even sudden drops in blood pressure. These are all common side effects of medications that millions of seniors in America take every single day. And when you combine 2, 3, or even more prescriptions, the risk multiplies. Let me tell you a story about Walter, an 82-year-old from Pennsylvania. Walter had high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis, so he was on several prescriptions. He trusted his doctors completely and never questioned his routine. But one afternoon, while standing up from his recliner, he suddenly felt woozy. His legs buckled, and he collapsed onto the floor, fracturing his pelvis. When his daughter took him to the hospital, the doctor reviewed his medication list and discovered that 2 of his prescriptions together were causing sudden drops in blood pressure. Nobody had caught it because Walter hadn't had a medication review in years. That fall could have been prevented. This is why it's so important to make medication reviews a regular habit. At least once every few months, take all of your pill bottles, every single one, including over-the-counter medicines and supplements, and sit down with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them, could any of these cause dizziness? Could any make me unsteady? Do any of them interact with each other? You might be surprised at the answers. Sometimes a dosage can be adjusted. Sometimes a medication can be switched to a safer alternative. And sometimes it's as simple as changing the time of day you take it. Now let me ask you something directly. When was the last time you had your medications reviewed? 6 months ago? A year ago? Longer? If it's been more than a year, then it's time. And I'd love for you to share your answer in the comments, because your reminder could encourage someone else to make that appointment. Here's another thing. Many seniors feel embarrassed to bring a big bag of medicines to the doctor's office. But trust me, doctors and pharmacists expect it. They'd rather see everything at once than risk a dangerous fall later. And it's not just prescriptions. Even common over-the-counter pills, like sleep aids or allergy medications, can make you groggy or throw off your balance. Many seniors don't realize that the little blue pill they take for sleep at night could be making them unstable when they wake up in the morning. So here's your action step. Set a reminder right now. On your phone, on your calendar, or on a sticky note by the fridge. Every 3 to 6 months, review your medications with a professional. Don't wait until you've had a dizzy spell or a fall to realize something was wrong. Prevention means being proactive, not reactive. Remember this, your medications are meant to help you live longer and healthier, not to put you in danger. But to make sure they're truly helping, you have to stay on top of them. That's not being difficult, that's being smart. So promise yourself this. Before the end of the year, you'll schedule 1 medication review. Because protecting your balance starts not just with what you do physically, but with what's happening inside your body too. The 7th and final daily habit that can protect you from dangerous falls is staying hydrated and eating regular meals. Now, at first, this might sound too simple. Drink water, eat food, of course I do that. But the reality is, many seniors in America quietly struggle with dehydration and low blood sugar, and they don't even realize it. And these 2 things are major triggers for dizziness, weakness, and falls. Let me tell you about Doris, an 85-year-old from Kansas. Doris lived alone and was fiercely independent. She often forgot to drink water during the day because, as she put it, "I don't feel thirsty like I used to." One hot afternoon in July, she stood up quickly after folding laundry. Suddenly, the room spun. She fell backward, hitting her head on the floor. When the paramedics arrived, they discovered she was severely dehydrated, all because she hadn't been drinking enough water. Doris later admitted, "I thought I was fine, but I didn't know dehydration could sneak up on me like that." And here's another side of it, low blood sugar. Seniors who skip meals or eat very lightly sometimes feel shaky, weak, or even confused. That moment of weakness is often when accidents happen. A missed breakfast, a late lunch, and suddenly, the body doesn't have enough fuel to stay steady. The truth is, as we age, our bodies don't send the same strong signals they used to. You may not feel thirsty even when you need water. You may not feel hungry even when your body is running low on energy. That's why this habit isn't about listening to your cravings. It's about making hydration and meals part of your daily safety plan. So what does that look like? First, keep a glass of water within reach at all times. Many seniors like to keep a filled water bottle near their favorite chair, on the nightstand, or in the kitchen. Make it easy to drink without thinking. Aim for small sips throughout the day, not giant gulps all at once. Second, don't skip meals. Even if you don't feel hungry, have something small, a piece of fruit, a handful of nuts, a slice of toast with peanut butter. These small snacks keep your blood sugar steady, which keeps your energy and balance steady too. And third, pay attention during hot weather. Heat pulls water out of your body faster, even if you're just sitting at home. Seniors are especially vulnerable to dehydration in the summer. If you notice darker-colored urine, a dry mouth, or unusual fatigue, that's your body waving a red flag saying, "I need water." Now let me ask you, how many glasses of water do you usually drink each day? Be honest with yourself. Is it 4, 5, maybe only 2? Write your number in the comments, because sometimes admitting it out loud is the first step to improving it. Here's a little challenge for you. Tomorrow, before you even pour your morning coffee or tea, drink a glass of water. Make that the first habit of your day. It wakes up your body, refreshes your brain, and helps prevent those dizzy spells that can knock you off balance. Remember this: your body is like a car. It can't run without fuel, and it can't run without coolant. Food is your fuel. Water is your coolant. If either runs low, the engine stutters. And when your body stutters, that's when accidents happen. So don't wait until you feel thirsty or weak. Stay ahead of it. Drink water throughout the day. Eat regular, balanced meals. Keep snacks nearby. These are not just small habits, they're life-saving routines that keep you steady, confident, and safe. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: what to do if you suddenly feel unsteady. Because here's the truth. No matter how many safety habits you follow, there will still be moments when you feel off balance. Maybe you stand up too quickly. Maybe you forget to drink water. Maybe your medications hit you harder one day. The danger isn't in feeling unsteady. The danger is in what you do next. Let me tell you about Jim, a 77-year-old from Illinois. One afternoon, Jim was outside working in his garden. He bent down to pick up a flower pot, and when he stood back up, a wave of dizziness hit him. He thought, "I'll just push through." He tried to walk it off, but within seconds, his legs gave out and he collapsed on the patio. He ended up in the ER with a fractured hip. Later, he admitted, "If I'd just sat down for a minute, it never would have happened." That's the key lesson. When you feel unsteady, don't push through. Don't try to fight it or pretend it's nothing. That stubbornness has sent too many good people to the hospital. Instead, make this your automatic response. Stop, sit, and steady yourself. If you're in bed and feel lightheaded, stay seated with your feet on the floor until the feeling passes. If you're standing and suddenly feel wobbly, look for the nearest chair, countertop, or sturdy surface, and sit down, or hold on until your body calms. If you're walking and it hits you mid-step, don't rush forward. Stop. Hold on to something. Wait until you're steady again. Here's another smart move. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Many seniors feel embarrassed to call out, especially if family or caregivers are around. But asking for a hand is not weakness. It's wisdom. Better to call your spouse, child, or neighbor for a quick steadying arm than to risk a fall that could steal months of independence. Now I want you to think about your own habits. When you feel dizzy, what do you normally do? Do you brush it off? Do you keep moving? Or do you take it seriously? Be honest with yourself, and if you feel brave, write your answer in the comments. Your honesty could inspire someone else to take their safety more seriously too. And here's something important. If you ever feel unsteady often, or if dizziness happens regularly, it's not something to ignore. That's your body waving a warning flag. Tell your doctor. It could be something simple like dehydration or medication side effects, but it could also be a sign of something that needs more attention. The bottom line is this: feeling unsteady doesn't have to mean falling. The difference is in how you respond. When in doubt, sit it out. Rest, breathe, and let your body catch up. Because one short pause can prevent one life-changing fall. You've just learned the 7 daily habits that can prevent dangerous falls and keep you living strong, steady, and independent. Let's quickly recap them together. Clear your pathways each morning so nothing in your home is waiting to trip you. Wear the right supportive shoes all day long. Light up dark spaces, especially at night. Take your time when standing up so your body has a chance to adjust. Practice simple balance exercises to keep your legs and core strong. Review your medications regularly so they don't quietly increase your risk. And finally, stay hydrated and eat regular meals because your body needs fuel and water to stay steady. 7 habits. 7 simple, powerful routines that can change everything. Now, I know it might feel like a lot to start all at once, but here's the truth. You don't have to be perfect. Even if you start with just one of these habits today, you are already safer than you were yesterday, and every step you take builds momentum. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, moving through your home with confidence, walking outdoors without fear, playing with your grandkids or working in your garden, knowing your body is steady and strong. Imagine the freedom of not worrying about a fall taking away your independence. That's what these habits are really about. Protecting your freedom, your dignity, and your future. Let me ask you, out of all 7 habits, which one will you start with today? Will it be clearing your pathways, drinking more water, or maybe practicing balance exercises while you wait for your coffee to brew? Write your answer in the comments because when you share, you inspire others to take action, too. And if you've already been living with some of these habits, share your personal tips. What little things do you do each day to stay steady? Your advice might be exactly what another senior needs to hear to stay safe. Remember this: independence starts with safety. Falls are not just bad luck, they're preventable, and prevention isn't complicated. It's daily, it's simple, and it's in your control. So let's make a promise today. Promise yourself that you will take at least one of these habits and put it into action. Promise yourself that your health, your independence, and your peace of mind are worth protecting. Because they are. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay steady, stay safe, and most of all, stay confident. Your best years are not behind you. They are right here, and they are worth living to the fullest.